welcome back to The Struggle with Candice Thompson. You know who this is. Candice motherfucking Thompson. Thank you guys for tuning in. To our new listeners, thank you for coming. The Struggle is a podcast where I invite my friends on and we talk about things they're dealing with in adult life. Stop looking at me like that, Shefsky. That's our guest for today.
How am I looking?
Shut up. It's not time for you to talk yet. Shut up.
It's a real sadistic.
All right.
Ouch.
So thank you for coming and listening. You can find me on social media, Jokes by Candice. And then you can find me also at CandiceThompsonComedy.com. I've been getting some emails from people who have been looking at my website and they're like, Candice, we can do better than this. And I'm like, of course. Of course. Like the bare minimum that I put into my website, that's what I do. So I will be responding to you guys because I do want to take you up on your offers to improve my website. So if you're listening, know that I appreciate you and thank you. Now I'm going to introduce my co-host who has been incognito for the past 2 episodes. Mal Hall.
Hey, everybody, I'm back.
Now, some of you might be upset that he's back. Some of you might be okay that he's back. I'm sure none of you are really elated that he's back.
Feels good. Feels good to be back. I'm glad that I'm dedicating my Tuesday afternoon to be here.
Welcome to the Angry Married Couple Podcast. On the next episode of We're Getting a Divorce, Mal and Candice.
Candice
You
was
can
like,
get one of the mics in the custody battle.
Candice was like, everybody loved Rel. Don't fuck up today. Like, okay, cool. Nice to be back. Mal Hall, everybody. MalHall.com. At Mal Hall on social media.
He's self-aware, guys. Can't hate on that. Now I'm going to introduce our guest, our hilarious guest for the day, the funny comedian, Jon Shefsky.
How's it going, guys? How do I match energy? It's good to be here.
It's good. Where can everyone find you, Jon, on social media? And
is this the end of the podcast? That was an easy podcast. Holy shit. Hey, guys, thanks for listening. Check me out. I got a podcast. I got a true crime comedy podcast called Crime with 3 Eyes.
It does have 3 eyes.
That's right.
Was that just to set it apart from other true crime podcasts? Or like the other true crime podcasts, all like, it was like so that you guys could be searchable, Googleable.
That's exactly right. Because we didn't understand any part of the game. You know, they say like hit the ground running and just fail early.
Yeah.
We failed early.
Yeah.
We right away were like, I want it to be called Crime. I don't want to like complicate it. I don't want any weird names. Just Crime. And everyone was like, well, that sounds good. So I was like, yeah, that's right. And then we'd tell people about it and we'd constantly get people like emailing us and texting us like, I can't find your podcast. No. And we went on iTunes and we typed in Crime, just regular crime.
And it was.
And there was 18.
5,
I mean, everyone has crime podcasts, right? So, and we were just like, okay, we messed up. But then Slayton and I, my co-host and I, we intro the show by going crime in unison.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, why don't we just, Slayton wanted to add a K. He's all, or how about crime, CRYME?
That's
and I was
what
like,
a Crip would have done.
Right? Add a K?
Well, yeah, because, you know, I don't know if you guys are familiar with gang culture,
but. Of course, we have black listeners. Go on. I'm sure. Y'all know what we're saying, right? Right? I'm black. This isn't a video podcast, right? I'm a black guy. I can say that.
It's the Bloods that do it. I think, isn't that what it is? And they don't spell anything with a C, so they'll, like, instead of like crime, they'll spell it with a K.
Like Blood's parents are like, don't use that letter in my house.
It is that.
This
I'm not
is
even
a blood
kidding.
house.
Yeah.
What movie was it where the guy was like, it's fine, I also speak jive?
Oh, that's no. You're thinking about Airplane?
Yeah.
And it was a woman who said it. She was bending down, and there was 2 black Negroes back then. Because I think it was. I think this was made in the 80s
70s,
or 70s.
Yeah.
And she goes, they were talking back and forth, and one of the guys was like, I don't know what there is. She's like, don't worry, I'm fluent in jive. It's brilliant. But anyway. Back to your podcast.
Oh, yeah. Back to the name of my... That's what this is about. The struggle. My struggle is naming a podcast, Candice. It tears me apart. No.
I found out that there's other struggle podcasts. I mean, I kind of thought there would have been, and I don't know if they came after mine, because Paul, you looked up when we first were looking at it, and I don't think we saw any. But then after, like, I had a guy I met at a festival who's like, what's your podcast? And he was like, which one? There's so many struggles.
And you're like, that's exactly my point. Tune in, you'll hear some of them. He's like, no, on the list. I can't find you guys in the database.
Find you, so I guess I can't subscribe.
No, you got, I mean, today's day and age with like globalization, everyone does say like, Google it before you do it.
Yeah.
But guess what? Google your idea. everything has been motherfucking
Everything has
done.
been
Right.
done.
So
Literally.
there was like entrepreneurs that started a business about helping entrepreneurs because they're like, well, all the other businesses were done.
Right.
So now that one's done.
And
So
right.
you're like, well, I'll start a business that helps businesses that help entrepreneurs.
And
Is
I'm gonna
that
start
one
one
been
that
done?
tears down entrepreneurs.
Yeah. Oh, that's been done too.
Yeah. Oh.
And it's Tony Robbins' evil twin brother, Lonely Robbins. He has an evil podcast. He's a listen up. You can't
Lonely
do
Robbins.
it. Look in the mirror and tell yourself you can't do it. There's no space for you. There's no room to flip any more houses. The anti-motivational speaker.
So your podcast is Crime with 3 Eyes.
Yeah. Oh, this has been a long plug. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
If you guys like what just happened here, you're gonna love an episode of Crime.
You will. You guys have had me on twice or 3 times now. 3 times now.
Oh, you're a crime regular. If we had a wall, we'd put your name on it.
I mean,
and we'd spell it right, for God's sakes. That's right. You're honorary. She's a crime tribe member.
because I'm
folks.
also like a crime, like I obsess over it. Like I love murders, serial killers.
You like the morbid
You even-
fascination.
I do. And the last one you had me on, like you guys were doing the story, I was like, I know this one. Like the other
it's-
2 ones I hadn't heard before, but the one that I just did, I was like, oh, I know this story.
Ugh.
Yeah.
They're so scary. I don't like knowing them. So I don't know any of them. That's why
you
I do
can't
the podcast.
unknow them. Yeah.
Oh, no, you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I still am afraid. I saw Silence of the Lambs when I was like 12, and I'm
it's
still
still
like
terrified
if
of
I see
it?
a dude in a cast, I'm like, I don't fucking trust
Oh,
this
yeah.
guy. I ain't moving shit for you in your van, you freak, with your skin suits. No, that shit never leaves you. That's the
No.
most morbid, disgusting part of like humanity. It's like we've got these amazing tendencies to do the most wonderful things, you know?
But also the most heinous.
Yeah. Like
Also
it's
to eat
such
people.
a trip, like
Yeah.
the level of like, just like we can go that way and do a really nice thing
Yeah.
with gumdrops and chocolate waterfalls, or you can wear a suit
Yeah.
made out of a lady's head.
Yeah.
Like, and you're just like,
We have options here in America or in the world.
And I was saying the world.
Yeah, in the world. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't like knowing crime stuff. That's why Slayton, my co-host, he writes the story knowing I'm not going to know it, and then
Right.
reads it to you and me.
And then he neuralizes you after the show so you don't remember any
Yeah,
of it.
he does the little Men in Black thing.
Yeah.
To me.
So you forget everything. You
Yeah.
start over.
Oh,
Fresh
God.
slate.
Sometimes it gets in my head though, and I don't like it. I'm like, people always
Like
ask
you
me
have bad dreams.
when
Well,
I'm
you have a kid now and another one on the way, so you got like, people to worry about.
Oh, now take it personal, yeah. But
Yeah.
I worried before I had my own kid. I just looked at like the human tribe, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Don't you guys hurt these kids?" Like, even though they weren't my kids, I was like, "Well, they're kind of my cousins, right?"
Yeah.
And then it's only gotten weirder now that I have a kid. I look at people that hurt kids even more like
You.
what the.
The devil.
I don't have anger
could
towards
you
them
do
because
that?
I don't
they
know.
have, a lot of them have brain problems. They have like in their frontal lobe, they have like tumors, or they,
Absolutely. They've been hit. They were abused.
or they
and it
were
hit
raised
them.
and abused. Like
Yeah.
kids that have been raped and molested, like some of them turn out stronger
To
in their
be-
triumph, but
and
some of them turn out to be like little
rapers
rapists
and
themselves.
molesters and
And I can't
yeah.
blame him. That guy was once a little baby that was raped. It's
Right.
going to happen. But it still makes me go like, how do we live in a world where we haven't solved the problem yet of like getting them
know
the
why?
hell away
'Cause-
from us?
Because everybody keeps having kids that shouldn't have kids.
So you're blaming the baby makers.
Yeah.
You're like,
who
you're
else
just,
am I supposed to blame?
you're
There are terrible people who have kids. Now I'm not saying every parent is terrible, but I am saying that there
for sure.
people abuse kids, and we just said that's how they
For
are.
sure.
Right. So it's like it's so easy for anyone to have a kid. Like you have to take a driver's test to become, to drive. You have to there's certain qualifications to do most things, but not to have a kid. And I think that's terrible.
You think you should have to get a kid license?
Yeah.
Like
You need
before
to have a background check done on you, just like how we do with people coming into this country. You need to have a background check.
I'd like to be like a parking meter enforcer for that law, like popping up while people are fucking and be like, don't cream hunt, sir.
Yeah.
You got a permit for that pussy? Like with a mag light? With a mag light?
You got
He's like, no, I was about to pull out, man. Just don't write that. I'm like, I already started. It's too late. I'm so
I
sorry.
can't. I can't once I've started.
You can fight the citation, sir.
Are you a 40-year-old man still drinking Capri Sun? You're not allowed to have
You're not allowed to
children.
have kids.
Clearly you're not mature.
Did you vote recently? I don't trust you. Either direction. You're just, I can't. I think that might be my struggle. Is just like how much I'll like read spiritual texts or I'll read like humanistic stuff and be super excited by, the Mr. Rogers side of the world.
Yeah.
And so like,
There's only 4 people that are like
I
that.
love humans.
Yeah.
And then like, they constantly surprise me on the level of like, wow, we are really dangerous at times. I don't want to say always because there's so many amazing people. And
Of
on
course.
an individual level, people are so dope.
Right.
On any side of the spectrum. I mean, I meet people of all types of politics and
Right.
backgrounds, and they're so great individually if you can sit down and talk to them. But left to their own device in groups, I'm just like, are you guys
monsters.
all fucking retarded? Like,
Yeah.
this isn't even that complicated.
Yeah.
It's not even that complicated.
true.
A lot of the stuff is really simple.
It's true. Wait, put a pin in that. And this is my fault because I jumped into the podcast without explaining the format of the show. So what I'm going to do really quickly before we get into your struggle, I'm going to do a quick 5-minute struggle.
Okay.
Mal's going to do a quick 5-minute.
Oh, I've got so many struggles. So don't even worry.
Yeah. Okay. So
we didn't
perfect.
waste the struggle.
And also,
I'm struggling, folks. I got a lot of stuff to talk about. This is the free doctor I'm coming to right here.
no, we like to think of ourselves as therapists.
Yeah. I call
We
it
do.
homebrew therapy.
Very terrible ones, unprofessional ones that sometimes leave people in worse condition than when they came in.
No, Candice, I call it homebrew therapy. It's like if you just have a listening ear without any institutionalized backing or any qualification, that you just have the patience to either roast someone for their mistakes, or listen patiently and give them the hug.
Roast it out of them.
It's the alpha male culture. That boy will learn. A couple more punchlines, he won't be making that mistake again.
But also, feel free to, when we're talking our struggles to jump in and talk. We're not excluding you from the conversation.
Thank you so much for that.
So since we're talking about, this is a good segue since we already kind of opened up with this people being terrible. So my struggle is, what do you do? I think I've made the discovery that one of my friends is a sociopath.
Well, you're in entertainment, so you're going to make a lot more of those discoveries.
Oh, absolutely.
God willing, you live long enough, you're going to decide that you're the only one that's not crazy. That's what happens. It's fucking terrifying. Is it weird?
And this one affects me because I have been friends with this person for over 3 years now. But just seeing behaviors that they're doing now and trying to have conversations about certain things, it's like shut down. Like he won't even let me broach certain topics with him. It's like, no, I don't talk. I don't have conversations with people.
You start to wonder, like, did the Scientologist already get to you? There's a few people that I've just been like, did they like kidnap you and then kind of brainwash you because you've always been naive and now you don't know how to talk regularly
and now you don't like conversations about things like we're trying to talk about things that are deeper like relationships and stuff like that, and he's just like, no, I don't do that.
It's like they got a mentor from the Matrix or something. You're like, who's your mentor? Like Mr. Anderson or whatever?
It's terrifying. And I told him it's terrifying. It's true. It's terrifying. I said to him,
he's my spiritual leader.
Oh God!
I pray to him every night. And so I said to him,
"You had me at meat sack. I'll listen to anything you say." You're right, sir.
We were talking about his like dating and like relationships and how it's like you're gonna be single because if you can't even have a conversation about with me, then how are you having relationships with anybody?
Right.
And he's like, I've had relationships before, and I'm like, they sound like they are pretty superficial ones. If you can't even So then I was like, I'm telling you this as a friend because I care about you and I want you to be able to experience relationships. And he's like, well, I don't care. I don't care what you say. And I was like, wow. I was like, you don't care? He was like, as a friend, you're trying to tell me what to do. I was like, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I'm giving you my perspective on your behavior. And I said, I listen to what my friends say. If I'm fucking up and one of my friends is like Candice, like my friend Brenda, I learned so much about myself from my friend Brenda at one point.
We've all learned a lot about ourselves from Brenda.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's a great teacher.
And she's a great communicator.
Yeah.
And so, like, I found out at one point, like years ago, that I was super defensive when people would, like, criticize me. She does.
Her East Coast, like, fuck you, buddy.
Yeah, she's tough.
She's like eternally leaning out of like a pizza delivery truck, like flipping you off. And you're just like, it's a red light. Brenda, it's a red light.
That's so Brenda. I got to have her on the podcast.
That's so Brenda.
It is
New
so
podcast.
Brenda.
Google it. Make sure no one else is doing it, though.
Nope.
It's the 400th That's So Brenda.
They're already doing it.
She spelled it with 3 E's, though. It's That's So Brenda. That's right.
But I learned a lot about myself because of her.
Yeah.
And I took that. If I had just been like, nope, not listening to you, how do we grow as people? So that I think, we're supposed to grow from every relationship that we're in, family, intimacy, like with partners, friendships, whatever.
Even just yourself.
Yourself,
just
right? I
like
do
talking
a lot
while you're going on a bike ride, like learn.
Absolutely,
from
I meditate. Right, I'm here to get better as a person. We're all like works in progress, and this dude is just like, nope. And then, like, I was like, okay, you have to get out of my car.
He's going to be a superstar.
Do you have a lot of car conversations with
No, he's
fellow
not.
comics?
Do a lot of what?
Car conversations. Like, because we're road dogs. We do, like, we've had conversations in cars, too.
Absolutely.
Like, we're just, we park when we're like, all right, we're home now. And then we're still talking
And
for
we're
like
still
20
talking,
minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
The sun's gone down.
That's one of my favorite things about being a comic is the road dog combos.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you were like, get the fuck out.
Yeah, no, I was like, you know what? I think we shouldn't have contact for a while.
Wow.
You could take breaks with people. I've been trying to tell one of my friends who has a succubus friend that's like very an offended person that spends a lot of time like sending emails and stuff.
Oh, no.
And I was like, what you need to do is he's a very depressed person and he's trying to hide it through being some sort of self-righteous hero, wasting his energy like criticizing people for their jokes or whatnot.
Oh, no.
And I was like, you just need to give him a year to 5 years to grow. It doesn't mean you have to hate him or have bad thoughts.
Right.
He's just at a point in his life where he hasn't learned that's
not the way to-
bullshit.
right.
That you're being a knuckle dragger acting like that.
Right.
And just give him a break. And that just worked for me,
But
where
you
you
know
come
what?
back 5 years later and you're like, I love this person.
Here's
now.
the problem is, but that's because it sounds like if that works with an emotionally healthy person, like the person I'm talking about, and that's why I'm saying I think he's a sociopath. Like he's
going to be successful.
He has a
So that's
he
what
already
I'm
is
saying.
successful. No, he already is. I think he has a personality disorder.
Mega famous though.
Not mega famous.
He's gonna be Billboard famous.
He could. He's already been on billboards, but he's not. There are people on billboards who you still don't know their names, right? But he's not. He's not like Brad Pitt famous. He could be at some point. He's super talented.
Yeah,
but,
I didn't imagine you were sitting in your car yelling at Brad Pitt about how he needed to conduct himself.
Oh, I would tell Brad Pitt about himself too.
I would just tell him, you need to do Inglourious Bastards too.
And three.
Take care of them kids.
And I was just going to say, you need to raise them kids, Brad.
And don't treat the white ones better than the black ones.
That's right.
Right?
I wasn't even thinking that way, Candice. What is this, 1998? I don't see color.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in orphans, immigration orphans, little immigrant orphans. I don't know what you are, sir. You're brown, all brown to me. Now, come on in and have a biscuit.
That sounds delicious.
Right?
I love biscuits.
Yeah, who doesn't like biscuits? That's the hardest thing about
So-
not eating carbs.
so wait-
biscuits.
I agree.
Give me some motherfucking
Anytime there's a
biscuits.
biscuit. But wait, so what do I do? Am I just moving on from this person?
Well, that's the hard thing with Hollywood, that I have no idea like how someone successful should handle that. Like well, here's a struggle. Because humanity and being like a good human being has nothing to do with being successful in business,
Absolutely.
especially entertainment
Look at
business,
our
right?
president, right?
I know some people that you would probably even call sociopaths that would argue, you're just being a cynic, John. But like I've
Of
just seen it
course.
so many times and experienced it so many times.
Right.
It has nothing to do. You know what I mean? Like some of the scariest people are like, if you're just a good person in this industry, good stuff happens. And I'm like, you're a horrible person. And then you say that meme and everyone goes, yeah. And then,
Right.
Yeah,
And then real good people come in and go, oh, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
as far as like, what should you do? Like, there's no way I would legally give you advice on a podcast where people
Legally?
could play it. They could play it
Oh,
back and be like,
I'm going to
you
take
gave
your
Candice advice, John.
and I'm going to sue you for
Oh,
it if
that's
it doesn't work out.
That's right. I made a mix song with auto-tune of John giving bad advice to Candice, and now he's trying to say he's not soliciting advice. No, but like, how do you look at it? How successful is this person? How much work do you get from them? You might have to shut your mouth and just be like,
Oh,
yep,
no,
I love
I'm
you,
not
and I want to
getting-
keep writing on your show.
No.
But if it's not that, then like you just
It's
give them a
not that.
break.
I think a break, and then when I revisit it, it's going to be like, I just know where you are with me. Like, I think we can like have a superficial, because that's all you can handle is a
Yeah.
superficial relationship where there's nothing deep that is ever discussed.
Yeah.
Because we used to hang out and have fun all the time, and then now it's like it just got on a deeper
Did you
level.
ever date?
We did. but very
that's-
briefly.
Well, still, that could be part of the awkwardness of him not wanting to talk now. 'Cause he
Oh
used to date.
no, that is some of it, but I also think that was him before we dated. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
this is just a person who I'm telling you, I think he's a sociopath. I think he's narcissistic, and I think he just has it's me. If it's me, and you do what I do, and if I don't want to talk about it, we don't talk about it type thing.
That's like he's
crazy.
gonna have a big house on top of the hill and be like, I'm on drugs. And I hang
absolutely.
out with my lawyers.
He's already on drugs, so yes.
Yeah. And they hang out with their lawyers and they're just like, everyone's out to get me. I mean, I know so many comics that I've known through the road that I'm just like, oh man, you're so sad. And all you got to do is just be cool and everything will be fine.
Right.
And you're not being cool.
And you're not being cool.
And no one wants to, like, and you're just going to be lonely from not being cool. And
Yeah.
the shit that they want half the time, you're just like, what's the fun in that? Like, I've been on a yacht before.
Right.
It's kind of cool.
It's
but
not
is it
fun
worth,
by yourself.
Is it worth? Yeah, I was gonna say, is it worth like just like
When you have no
not
friends.
having no real friends,
Right.
like having to pay people to hang out with you? Like,
Yeah.
it's just you're hanging out. You were in a car with Dan Bilzerian, weren't you?
I was.
I knew it.
I was. That's exactly
Candice
who
is
it
all she's
was.
all, take your sniper rifle and your neon bikini chicks and get out of my Civic. And your beard trimmer. How does he get it so sharp? I
don't know.
That's my question. He shaves it off and he just has a chin that's sharp.
Dan,
Like,
if you're listening to this, please call in.
Dan,
We don't have
please.
it's like we're live.
Dan Bilzerian, this is Dan Brokeserian. I just want to communicate with you. Come to us and just be regular. Have some real friends. No, I just give people space when they're like that. But luckily, lately I haven't had to deal with that so much because I've kind of backed off on. That's another struggle. I've just backed off on like you don't have to always be hanging out with comics. Like my brother is
You
not a
need normal
comic.
people.
I hang out with my brother all the time. Besides hanging out with my kid and my wife and that, I hang out with my two of my best friends from childhood. 3 of them. One of them's in Alaska right now because he's a little bitch. But no, yeah. I was like, oh, so your dad dies and you got to take over the family business?
Yeah.
Bitch, leaving me here? Who am I gonna go to Golden State with? I can't have burgers alone. No,
I'll go to Golden State with you. That's by my house.
it's like my favorite.
I could walk there
That's
and
the
meet
best
you.
cheeseburgers.
Biscuits?
And no, but
Oh no!
but great
What's
cheeseburger.
Pine
Burger
State?
place.
That's the biscuit place I'm thinking
that's
about in
in Portland.
Portland.
Pine State. Oh yeah. That's
Oh, the biscuits.
A little bit of a drive.
No.
Probably
You think
a
so?
lot of parking.
It's totally
though.
worth it for that
A
biscuit,
little
though. Let me
commute
tell you.
for a biscuit.
Better
No,
parking.
it's not. I told you I was going to fly back to Denver for that.
Oh,
vegan
that's
chicken
why I
and waffle.
travels for food.
It's the only. I mean, it's delicious.
I was just talking to someone recently who's heavy into dieting, and they're very healthy.
Yeah.
But she was telling me how she's going to Turkey and she's doing all this fasting, and I was like, no, don't do
In
it.
Turkey?
Don't do the fasting while you're on your trip.
That's terrible. Who would do that?
I was like, girl,
An
you're going
idiot.
on vacation. Like, you go to like eat other foods.
yeah, you fast
And all of
before
them.
or after.
Yeah, I think I talk sense to her. She's
Yeah,
she's very smart. It's just like you get caught up in your shit though when you're
Look how mad my face is. Like
Oh,
that
I see
really
it.
made me very upset.
listeners. She's got some wrinkles that aren't going to leave after
The
this.
dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Candice's forehead's forever Klingon now. She was pissed. She was pissed.
I fast before I go, so I have more room in my body to eat food when I go on trips.
That's right. That's the healthy diet plan right there.
yeah,
It's the binge and purge.
yeah.
But seriously, I backed off on some of the like. How do I put this? I still hang out with comics, but comics that are my friend. But I won't like not hang out with a close friend that I have plans with just so I can go hang out at a comedy club and
Right.
And even though people say it's not networking, it's fucking networking when it becomes homework.
Of course.
When people, Ralphie May used to tell me, he's like, you go and you do this, it's your job. And I was like, this job fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I like to tell jokes.
yeah,
I
not
don't-
just
I don't
hang
wanna stand around
and
all fucking
be
day.
socially awkward.
Oh,
right,
dude,
with-
and play high school games. That guy's kicked out now. And
Right.
we got to be mad at him. Don't
Right.
let him come to the group. I'm just like, I'm going to actually hang out with some real men.
Right.
Just for a little bit.
and have
just some-
stimulating
You know,
conversation
guys, you know
and
how
not
to-
just talk about our credits for 45
Yeah,
minutes.
dudes
right.
that like know how to change a tire and shit like that. I'm hanging out with them for a couple days because they actually have some value too to this
Right.
to this world.
How'd you get on that show?
I know.
Tell me.
Who books
wait,
that?
who books it?
Okay, so when your close friend asks you that, fucking, I spill the beans. Like if Sandro
Yeah.
asks me, like, have you ever had Sandro on the show?
No, he's of course on my
You need to
list.
have
I love
on.
Sandro. No.
If Sandro asks me that, which he doesn't really ask that kind of stuff, but when we get together and communicate those kind of things, dude, I'll share whatever the hell comes my
Right.
way. I'll say I've done it to you too before, and I will to you too. Sorry, Mel,
Yeah.
I haven't done it for a while now. I'm like, Candice, I've hooked you up with spots. I look over at Mel. I was like, well, Mel, you're doing pretty well. Anyway. But like you don't have to like there's like this pressure. That Chris Hardwick thing came out, right?
Yeah.
That his ex-girlfriend wrote.
Yeah.
And one of the things that stuck out to me, obviously he was a horrible boyfriend and
Yeah,
a
but
bad
he shouldn't
person.
be fired
But
over.
like his girlfriend was saying how like he like disclosed like some of his plans for success in Hollywood and how he like didn't hang out with people that couldn't help him out. And I legitimately know a good handful of people that I found out through the years like, oh,
That have
you
done that?
believe that?
yeah,
And not just through them telling me their secrets.
yeah.
Because I'm not divulging anybody's secrets publicly right now, but I've had people where I'm like, oh my God, it's so obvious what you're doing right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't disrespect them because it's their business plan and whatnot. And some
Right.
people are meant to be lone wolves. They're not meant to be in marriages. They're not meant to
Right.
have close friends. They had their kind of childhood that I didn't have.
Right. That's the only thing they know how to do. Right.
And
Is
they're
like
just
the
and they
only
know how
way
to
they know how to
climb
do it.
social ladders.
Absolutely.
They're going to get their
chameleons, so, yeah.
trophies and they're going to get their non-tangible trophies too, which is the successes and that they're building their own empires.
Right.
And like, what would we say? The Jews, we say mazel tov or whatever. Like, go get them. You
Yeah.
know, it saddened me when I was younger and more soft as a comic to be like, you are not like a soft, like you're not a Mr. Rogers kid.
Yeah.
You know,
No.
I just want a friend to hang out with and I want to do something that I love that's good for the world.
That's
and you
me,
want to
right.
conquer an empire.
Right.
And I'm just like, I don't want to sacrifice. Like, dude, I would love to have my own yacht. I would love to have like $1 billion in the bank or have
Of
a clothing
course.
line or something like that. But like,
course.
not at the sacrifice of like, you're on your deathbed and you're like, I built an empire. Like, that's cool.
And
Did
you're
you
by
raise
yourself.
your child?
Right.
Did you
right.
come together with a woman or did you just come?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and did she come because she's a fan of yours and she's really excited that she got to
Yeah.
fuck a celebrity? Or did you make love to somebody?
Right. Do you
and-
have a connection?
and
Do you
that's
know what that
totally
feels
cool if
like?
that's
You
not their
know,
priority.
Being human.
Right.
Right.
That's totally cool if that's not your priority. If you're a business tycoon, you're like, I'm going to sell oil till the
Yeah,
earth
but
is a
it's
million
specific
degrees. Like,
people that behave that way, and a lot of these times there are the people with personality disorders, and that I'm not here. I'm not
PPPDs.
celebrating personality disorders.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not celebrating it. I'm also not saying that they're wrong and I'm right, but definitely learning. I'm not that. Like I won't be. I started thinking about like my deathbed. You know, I read that like that old lady thing when she talked about like how she felt on her deathbed or whatever. It was like an internet meme, and I was just like, man, like on my deathbed, would I really be bummed if I didn't make a certain amount of money Like, of course I want to have a stand-up special.
Of course.
You know, hopefully this podcast today fucking launches
This
that.
is your special.
This goes viral. Listeners, make this viral. Hashtag Shefsky Successky. But like
Spell it however you want.
everything has a price though. Everything has a price.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, you know, I've had, you know, Angelo, one of our mutual friend of ours, one of my best friends ever. We were friends for about 4 years.
Yeah.
He was a road dog, lived at my apartment with me, just dies out of nowhere. And you go, all right, if that is just how this realm that I'm in, obviously run by a fucking
And one of
some
the
weird
like
demon
nicest,
Right.
sweetest like people.
sweetest, like wouldn't hurt anybody.
No.
One of those people like who we're talking about, the people who go up to you and be like, "Hey, who books that?" He would never.
No.
Like getting famous was the least of
But
Angelo's concerns.
he was also real as fuck though. And so people
Absolutely.
go like, he would never like, oh, he was a horny little fucking like stealing a chicken nugget demon. But
Yeah.
but he
was still a man.
But he was, yeah, it was petty crimes. He was a
Right.
dirty little elf.
Right.
But to have someone so close to you that you know is such a good person just go bam and be dead so fast, you realize like, oh man, like the time in this realm is precious.
Yeah.
Whatever happened before or after, who knows? But like, you can decide like, oh, I just want to be by myself and like kind of use things to get where I need to go. But I realize like if a friend says like, hey, let's go on a mountain bike ride on Thursday. I'm like, oh, I don't have to do anything that Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm writing it in my calendar and taking it as seriously as a job, as a booking or a
an
comedy
interview
show.
or audition. Right.
Totally. And someone will be like, hey, can you do this? Unless it's crazy money that I have to like swap some things around or whatever.
No.
It's a priority. Like, we're going to go ride mountain bikes. dude.
Relationships are all we have. Literally, relationships are the only things that we have.
Totally. And you wonder by like
Yeah.
Gary Shandling and all these like older comics like, oh, I'm on antidepressants and I'm this and that. Even though I've had 10 TV shows, it's like, oh, because you formed bonds with a bunch of other business people.
Right.
And that's not a good bond
Right.
most
no,
of the time.
You're when you worship material things, you're still going to have a hole
Totally.
inside of you. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because
or
that's not gonna
trophies
fulfill
too, like prestige, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Same thing.
Did I just hijack the podcast just rambling? I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're fine.
You guys are all quiet. I'm sitting here. I was like, don't worship yourself in that manner.
You can't. We're going to have to skip over Mal's struggle, though.
Mal struggle being heard on his own fucking podcast.
This is Candice's podcast.
I thought this is both of your guys' podcast.
Candice
It's
Thompson.
mine.
I know
He's
she's on
my
the cover,
co-host.
but you're. Wait, so does co-host mean lesser? Because Slayton calls me his co-host and I call him his co-host. Does one of us
It's
not
the
know that we're the
person who
co-host?
does the most of the work that's whose podcast it is.
Oh, God,
And then you're just there.
If my co-host was here, he'd be like, well, that's me.
That's Rich.
Because I write the story. I do a ton of work. I run that
Do you?
motherfucking business. I do. I don't get any credit for it.
Oh, really?
No, I do. Graphic designer. I am the head graphic designer. I'm the art director of our podcast.
Do you make new artwork like every week?
Well, we have a sticker of the month club, so yeah, I do. Well, not every week, but every month.
But you're also an artist. You have a tattoo. You are a tattoo artist.
I used to be a tattoo artist.
You don't do that anymore?
Girl, I got a successful podcast.
Ain't nobody got time to
No,
make tattoos.
I don't
no more.
tattoo anymore. I still do some editing, like video editing, and I do like a little bit of production work, you know, like.
Oh, then you guys are fair, you know. Like, I mean, if you're doing just as much work, then it's both of your podcasts.
Slayton does a few more hours of work, so I will say that. But
now he has a kid too. So
I
you
give him credit.
guys
Oh yeah, dude. I've been
now you
telling
both
him.
have the family thing.
I've been telling him for a
happening.
while. I was like, it's gonna be crazy. You're gonna stay up till 6 a.m. doing whatever you want, smoking pot, playing video games. Like you're gonna be a daddy, and now he is.
See, and I
He
can't.
texted me at 8:30 this morning, and I was like, "Excuse me? Did Richard Slayton text me at 8:30 a.m.?
He was awake.
He's awake. It's daddy time.
Yeah, he's like been 2 weeks now. Is the
Three.
baby- 3?
3.
He's got
It's
a new
daddy
baby.
time.
We're gonna have Slayton on, I think, next week.
He's the other half of the podcast.
Of
Don't
the
let him
crime.
tell you he does more, folks.
Yeah. Spoiler alerts.
That's right. You can make lasagna, but you need ricotta cheese in there. That's me. Oh, I got the noodles and the sauce and the pan. Shut up. Ain't nothing without your ricotta cheese.
You damn right.
Yeah, I know. I know my value. I listened to a couple Tony Robbins tapes, motherfuckers. I might have made fun of him with the his anti-hero, but yeah, no.
I've had lasagna without ricotta. Not good.
Thank you.
Not
Yeah,
good.
no, it's important.
That's my boy.
I don't
right there.
honestly. I don't eat meat anymore, but I think that I remember. The
Of course,
feeling
our
of-
food riff had to be dissected by our healthy eater, Candice.
Oh, I'm not. I am healthy.
You are healthy.
I am, but I also splurge.
Yeah, you have to.
I also splurge
You have to get yourself sick on fair food so that you worship the healthy diet again.
on fair food.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, like a
LA County Fair,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
fried Oreos, and then hate yourself for a couple hours. And then,
Or you just go to a normal restaurant in Alabama and you get the same
Right.
menu.
You go to what? You go to a healthy in quotes.
I love the South, dude. Getting a casserole at a restaurant is the weirdest thing if you're from California. You're like, it's a casserole and we're at a restaurant? Like, what the fuck? And then you have it and you're like, this is really good. No wonder you guys are all fucking dying at 50. Just mushroom soup in a pan.
Possum casserole.
Oh,
you guys made possum delicious
with
somehow.
Possum cheese? How do they do this? Oh, yeah. Possum Roadkill Cafe.
I had a biscuit in Alabama, speaking of biscuits.
It was delicious.
On Sunday. It was the size of a throw pillow, and it was fucking amazing.
Are you serious? It was that big?
It was.
Have you guys ever seen CB4?
Because look at my face. I've had cornbred that was the size of a brick before.
You ever seen CB4?
Long time ago, but yeah.
They're at that restaurant having a conversation, and they're turn around and eat your big ass biscuit. And they have the place is called Big Ass Biscuit, and they're eating a giant biscuit. That is CB4, right? That's not Fear of a Black Hat.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I've seen both, but so long ago that I really don't remember.
I used to watch CB4 all the time, but I also used to watch Fear of a Black Hat all the time, and I mixed them up. I'm like,
they're both great.
Which one's the Bagheads again? No, Bagheads is Fear of a Black Hat.
Back to biscuits, though. What if we just had a podcast? We just talk about
Back to biscuits?
Back to biscuits.
I love that. That's actually good wordplay.
I just Googled it. There's 4 of those podcasts already about biscuits.
Damn it.
We can do biscuits with 3 B's.
Biscuit.
Back to the biscuits. We are live inside a giant biscuit right now. Back to biscuits.
Inside of a giant
biscuit? Dude.
That's my dream come true.
Like James and the Giant Peach, but it's a biscuit.
The world's most extraordinary biscuit homes. On
HGTV. The world's most. It's a new from BBC. I always wanted to live inside a big carby wall, have a bite.
It was my childhood
Carby
dream.
wall.
A big carby wall.
Favorite breakfast item when I was growing up as a child.
But the problems didn't end there. They had to ship in a biscuit. The road was not thick enough for the biscuit. But they... Dude, I want a biscuit so bad right now.
Chefs had to come.
Of the world's finest biscuit chefs.
It was pre-assembled in Alabama. The gravy shipped in from across the pond. Just pouring the gravy on top. This will seal it from the rain.
My stomach hurts.
I want a biscuit so bad right now, and I made a promise that I wasn't going to eat that kind of stuff for like another 4 days.
Why 4 days only?
Well, because I went to it was my wife's birthday last week, and I went to the fair with her, and then
you went hard
I
in the
bought her a
paint.
cake. I went hard. The fair wasn't even that good of food. This is like an anti-ad for the LA County Fair. I was like, you can just go to like a cool place and get really good fried food for like the same price.
Yeah.
And you go to the LA County Fair and you're like, I had a corn dog from Hot Dog on a Stick.
Oh, I knew somebody was going to bring up corn dogs.
It was, well.
They make me nauseous.
Corn dogs?
The smell alone.
Oh, they smell delicious.
No, stop. Shut up.
What about the smell combined? I knew my dad joke would get Candice pissed. See, there's several reactions. There's a genuine laugh that Candice does. That she's doing right now. There's that one. And she'll do the one where she laughs, but she goes, stupid. And that one I still love. That one's like a trigger for me that makes me happy. Like it's like a pain trigger.
And then there's the one that I get, which is just that right there, the angry stare.
Yeah, that's the angry. You're going to get that Klingon forehead. You don't smile.
Just like the eyes that roll.
This is the second person that's mentioned corn dogs to me. Cornrows.
Cornrows?
I just pictured cornrows made out of corn dogs.
You dip that in corn? I'll eat one of those.
That
oh
would
my God.
smell delicious.
If all the members of oh my, if all the Limp Bizkit kids all had those on their hair, I'd go to more concerts.
Back to biscuits.
Back to biscuits. Oh my God. What a yummy band.
I can't talk. No, I'm seriously, it makes me nauseous, and even talking about them is making me nauseous right now.
Well, it'll make you happy to know that it was bland AF. It was unremarkable. The dog itself had no flavor, and the batter not sweet or salty enough.
I had a veggie corn dog. I think.
Did it have a zucchini in the inside?
No,
yeah, they have a zucchini one at I forget what it's called.
It had like a veggie dog in there.
Oh, just a veggie
like
one.
A corn dog, but with like
was it good? But those things aren't even healthy half the time. Veggie dogs. It's like fried up in a bunch of starches and weird stuff. It's like you might as well just have a hot dog.
It's so bad, right? Like the stuff that's processed is like you might as well just be eating pork.
Have a meat. Have a meat, dude.
Right.
I think the fair gets progressively worse as you get older until you have kids, and then you can experience it through them again.
I guess
because the fair is fun and everything tastes great when you're a little kid.
Yeah,
like because I don't know, the fair reminds me of summer, like all the smells and the sounds, and then you're there.
Yeah.
And then just you hit a certain age as an adult where you realize what everything is, and that takes away from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then when you have a kid again,
Right.
that's a fair age, then you can enjoy it.
It's like
again.
the circus. Do they
I
still
won't go
do
to
that?
circus. No,
It's like Disneyland.
circus is old school. Like just like we'll just torture a few animals and charge
Did you-
people to watch it. I think they shut that down.
They did, and they,
It's
the
called the
animal
rodeo
crackers,
now.
animal crackers, the cookies.
Yeah, I saw
They freed. There's no more. They're not in a cage anymore. They freed
you
the
think that's
animal
good,
on
though?
the box.
That looks like hysterical liberalism, where it's just like, oh, way to put your energy into something important, you idiots.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
that's-
like we got
it's a lot. It is a bit much.
dumb.
like
It
there's
is a
like
bit much.
there's like still kids getting raped by the Catholic
Of
Church,
course, but they're
and all these people
focusing
are
on-
writing letters to like get those cartoon animals free.
Oh, right.
And take their genitals away. They don't have genders. There's no such thing. It's an invention. You're like, there's real problems you guys could focus on if you want to make the world better.
This is a real problem, Shefsky.
Yeah.
These
You
animals.
can't speak. You're a straight white Jew. You own the media and you like women. You can't speak.
These animals could see themselves on these boxes, and how are they gonna feel?
That's right. I tell
Like slaves.
I tell a lion, you could be anything you want when you grow up.
Animal cookies
They are
aren't even that good.
No, I like them.
They should have shut that down.
Yeah.
It's like it's just bad carbs for kids anyways.
Yeah, it's
so
not
it's like if
good.
you
So what are you saying? You want to get rid of cookies?
I say they take the
No,
animal
give 'em
crackers
good
things,
cookies.
leave the jail sense on
I
it,
like
you know,
animal
and just
crackers.
have vegetables popping out of there, like a few carrots and celeries, and then fill the box with
In the jail cell, though.
But still,
keep
the prison.
Yeah, keep the prison walls up.
Get rid of the sugar.
It shows them breaking out of the jail, right?
Circus veggies.
Yeah, they should have showed them like shanking the security guys, like killing them, actually like revolting,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Nat Turner,
That's
and like
a-
starting a war just between the animals and the people in the circus. That would have been amazing. Some of them did. Did you see that elephant that trampled on? There was a trainer
Oh.
and he like stomped on him.
So sad.
I was like, I can't even be mad at that elephant.
They found out the
He was
elephants are
mad.
smart. That's what bums me out. They found out they're smart. Dolphins and elephants and whales are all smart. And
They're
you're
all
like,
very smart.
Can't we just be a little? I mean, I understand. Like, I eat cows all the time.
Yeah.
Right? We're probably doing them a favor.
The
Pigs,
cows?
pigs are smart too.
Cows are probably bored AF, dude.
They
What do they do? Right?
give them a pen and give them a laptop and
A
see
cow
what
a laptop?
and see what'll happen.
I mean, they're doing pretty good with the billboards on the freeway.
The elephant that
Are you talking about with the Chick-fil-A billboards? That
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
that trips me out too. That trips me out too. Where they have the cows like saying, "Eat more chicken." I was like, "Oh my god!" They really personified these things. Were
Fuck the chickens do to
Eating.
you, cows.
yeah, it's weird. I'm like whoever
The
gets,
assholes.
like the art people. What do you call it? The advertising people?
Yeah.
Like if you had the mind to sit there and be like, "I've got a great idea. Let's make it so that the cows are desperate for you not to murder them.
Yeah.
And they're begging you to murder somebody else.
someone else instead.
And I'm just like, oh my god,
So fucked up.
But I'm still good. I
It's
eat
so
meat.
funny.
Nothing feels more natural on my palate and in my stomach
Than meat?
Than some good meat. Yeah, I eat. That's what I eat.
You're talking to two vegetarians, man. Watch your mouth. Okay.
I'll wash my mouth out with beef stew.
Can you?
I mean, a weird mouthwash
realize
flavor, huh?
We are
Every
like,
morning, Shefsky brushes his teeth
with
and then
meat toothpaste.
follows it with
He just has ground beef coming out of his
Dude.
toothpaste.
It's new from Listerine. It's a whitening beef
just
broth.
beef jus.
I'm like, my wife's like,
Mouthwash.
she walks in, I'm gargling beef broth. Just
Have you
brushing with
seen-
pate.
Have you seen the bone broth they're selling in like these stores now? Like
I've seen
as
the bags of them.
drinks.
It's really small amounts of them. And
What do? You just drink it?
I
Yeah, it's just
accidentally
soup without
had
any-
bone broth when I was in Australia.
was it a good accident?
I went to this Viking theme bar. Like everything
my
was
God.
Viking theme. Like I drank beer out of a legit
And they were
like a
serving
horn.
bone broth.
Oh, super
No.
jealous right now.
And in the menu, there was like all these like amuse bouche like shots.
yeah.
And so I was like, "Hey, buddy, pick whatever the most popular one is, or whichever one you like the best. I'll get that." And so we got two of those.
It's called the man shit.
And I just fucking
This one's my urine.
I cheers. you just fucking okay. The shots
Wiener
are presented.
beer. Candice said, this is my urine. This one's wiener beer. Spicy, tangy.
So I had the shot and I was like, well, that tastes interesting.
Tastes savory.
Then I looked at the menu and I was like, oh, so that's bone broth.
Was it alcohol in the bone broth or
Yeah,
just
it
bone
was
broth?
like
It was
bone
alcohol.
broth
Oh, that
and
sounds
vodka or
cool.
some.
Ew.
It was
I like
weird.
it when they mix it. I had quail leg shooters. I've had oyster shooters.
Yeah.
I had a rum with a cobra inside it. So I was like,
With an actual cobra?
yeah.
How was
I,
that?
I think in Vietnam you can buy that.
Yeah.
I think it was rum. Maybe
It
it
was
was vodka.
dead.
They have it in the Philippines.
No, it's alive
too.
swimming around. It's a
It was
cobra.
It's
dead.
the
Just dead in
drunkest
there.
cobra that is
Yeah.
alive, but in heaven at
It's
the same
fighting
time
a
'cause he
ferret.
loves the booze.
It's fighting a ferret. There was a couple of hairs and scales in my shot. No, there was a scale in my
Did it
shot.
affect the taste?
No, because it's really strong. Like I think it was vodka actually, but maybe it was rum. I don't know. It's good. I mean, I'll try it. Like
You guys, I hate to destroy this conversation, but we
you have
have
to.
not gotten to your struggle yet.
Yeah, what's your actual
We're
struggle?
like halfway done with the podcast.
I mean,
And we haven't even.
I want to tell you this. I love Ian Edwards and him being on.
He set the bar, didn't he?
He set the bar. Well, I'm just a fan of it. He's been on our show, and like I just, I was like,
He's great.
I gotta hear the episode Ian's on, right?
He's great.
And any podcast like yours where you get to actually like talk to comics and hear what's on their mind is like my favorite thing, because it's
I
like
love
I don't
it.
want to hear like a scripted thing or whatever. Like,
Right.
I just want to hear comics actually talking. And
Being real.
Ian's a quiet motherfucker.
Yeah.
So when you get to hear Ian like talk about stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, Ian being real. And his struggle, I was like, I feel like his like laziness versus success, I feel like is my like not wanting to pay the ticket fee for success of like what we were just talking about, like of being like not being with your loved ones, or like I see my kid grow up. I see my kid all the time, all the time.
Yeah.
And I know people that make a lot of money that don't see their kids, and I'm like, that just, and they talk about how they're providing for their kids, and I was like, your kid doesn't, like, college isn't even as important. Like, then you just like spending time with
you're
your
like
kid.
you're talking about Drake right now. Shots fired. You calling out Drake for not taking care of his
I defend Drake too,
illegitimate
though.
child?
I defended him on his blackface. I told a bunch of people in San Francisco. I told a bunch of people, like, don't you tell Drake how black he is. So I defend Drake, and as a Jew, I defend him as well. Shalom, Drake, if you're listening. Hashtag Shefsky success.
He is. Him and
go
Dan
viral.
Bilzerian are actually my two top listeners.
Dude, if Drake produces my first comedy special, I will be so happy.
Yo,
I'll wear
that would be
whatever the fuck he
amazing.
wants, and I will cut my hair however he wants.
You have to do blackface for your special.
If Drake told me to do it, I will do what Drake says.
Amen.
If Drake says do blackface,
Drake obviously knows what he's doing.
I will answer a few angry emails to make my Drakey happy.
Any press is good press.
And yeah, I don't know about that press. A couple death threats. I did get a weekend at the Tempe Improv, though, so I'm pretty happy. I had to take my kid to a special school, though, where there's guards.
The Tempe Improv. Shout out to the Tempe Improv.
You know, I mean, whenever a comic's like on a new, like, like I'm on an HBO show or something like that, you're like, well, look who's headlining Tempe. The chicken fingers taste the same at all the improvs, folks. Don't judge until you go. No, so I feel like my struggle, that's one of my plethora of my little bag of struggles is, and a main one in my life is just like, I am not willing to pay the price of being
Successful.
Between Ralphie May and my friend Kamel's dad, who were both very successful, made a lot of money. They both had heart attacks in their I don't know if Ralphie didn't even make it to his 50s.
Yeah,
and
I
then
think he was
Kamel's
still in his
dad, I think
40s,
was like, I think Kamel's dad was 50, workaholic, sweet as pie, giving mentor kind of figures in my life, both dropped dead.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, like especially my friend's dad, Kamel, he was like my second father, and he just dropped dead, and he was so into providing, and we always told him, like, and his son, one of my best friends, told him, like, hey, slow down, Dad. Like, everyone was like, hey, like, it's all good. But he was so like into like working hard and having success was his high, you know?
It's funny to me that you still use your kid voice when you're talking.
Oh yeah. But like that kind of, that level of like, oh, like his sacrifice was like, I would have rather that he wasn't as successful financially and or fiscally and
was still
business wise with his
Right.
goals, and I know that I'm sure that his family feels that way because I know them well and I know what they go through, and it's like, is it worth it? Is there a way to get like 60% success? You know what I mean? Like maybe make a couple $100,000 a year, have my health insurance, start a retirement fund,
live comfortably,
invest in some assets,
to be able to take care of your family.
Yeah, like have some business projects with some pals.
Yeah,
but not be like yachting. You know, not be like Ralphie had when I first,
I have to yacht you guys.
When I first met, yeah, that's totally cool if that's your thing. I'm saying, but for my struggle, like when I first met Ralphie, I started opening for Ralphie, and I remember him talking about how he wanted to have a private jet, needed to be bigger and have this and that and all these things.
Well, to be fair, he was big, so it's like having a private jet.
He needed something spacious.
Yeah.
Okay, but also read a book on fasting and get a tour bus.
I know.
Like you don't need to things don't need to grow around
also
you.
Terrible for the environment, right?
Things don't need to grow around. Yeah, and Ralphie had chances to get, but again, it's a psychological disorder to be that big. It's very hard to just be like, just thin out, Ralphie, cut the carbs.
Yeah, there's mental.
He had a lot of pain and a lot of stuff he was doing, and God damn it, whenever I ate with him, holy fuck, did we eat like kings?
Yeah.
Same with Kamel's. Two of my successful daddies right there. ate like fucking kings. So I
Did
can
he
see
die because of being overweight?
Ralphie.
No,
No, he had a heart
friend's
attack.
father.
He had multiple heart attacks before that kind of led up to this.
He wasn't
He was a
overweight,
workaholic.
though? So it's stress.
He ran businesses up in Alaska. He ran businesses down here. He didn't really have middle management, so he ran everything. Everything was pretty successful. He was just kind of like a wild cowboy that just like had balls and was like, yeehaw, like I'll buy that, I'll do that with it. And he would set his mind to it and do it. And but at some point you're like, well, you need to like outsource these things and take breaks, and not just like your once a year hunting trip when you're done with your crazy year. Like you need to take breaks every 2 weeks. He was getting like 4 hours of sleep a night.
No.
Who's another guy that did that? Ralphie was getting no sleep, getting up early for radio when he's already super famous.
Yeah, you got to take care of yourself.
Selling out fucking 7 shows in a row at these places, making 200 or 300 grand a month or whatever, doing that shit. And you're like, you don't need more money, dude.
Right.
What
And
good's your other house? You're not going to see your kids anymore. What good's your all your cars? You don't get to drive them. You're fucking dead.
Right.
Assuming that we're not like floating around in some alternate realm watching. That's mine right there. That's my BMW. Did that one. Paid for that with my own money.
Some other guy sleeping with your wife.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Unless it turns you on, jacking off with your ghost dick. Yeah, fuck her hard. He's got one of those 7 black guys fantasies. Yeah. Next. Did we just get the light? God damn, a comet can't escape the light. I'm in a podcast, for God's sake. No, but
we need to get the wrap it up music.
I know I haven't even gotten to my struggle.
Yeah, no, we still have 15 minutes.
We'll do it in part 2. Yeah, just hurry up and give me a solution.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's close enough, or if that's too close to Ian's like lazy thing. Is my want to not like sacrifice like seeing my child?
No, it's not too close to it, and even if it is, so what? We're not going to kick you off on the. Damn it, that's too close.
No,
to
I'm
Ian.
not worried about.
Get out of here.
I'm not worried about your draconian law, Candice. I'm trying to just have manners and like bring something new to the podcast.
Yeah, no, this is, and that's a different in that you're talking about. Ian just was dealing with his laziness, where you're like, you just don't see.
I don't want to pay the price, this ticket fee.
Right, you value other things in life other than what some of these people worship, you know, which is monetary stuff. And I agree. Like, and I honestly think that affects me. Like I've always said that if I was raised a different way, that I would be more successful sooner. It's just because like I'm a spiritual person. Mm-hmm. You're a spiritual person. Like I feel like that inhibits us because we find happiness in other places aside from like getting your face on a marquee or doing, you know what I'm saying? Like it takes us longer. We can still love that art as much as someone else. It just, we also find love in other things.
But it's difficult though, because, okay, so I didn't, when I got into stand-up, I didn't know the game at all. I didn't read any books about stand-up. I just like loved Bigger, Blacker was like a lifetime, like I'd watched it like a million times. Mm-hmm. And I went to the Improv to see Nick Schwartzen with my wife's family, and was like,
with your white family?
My wife's family. My white family. Every now and then
we find out that he also has a Mexican family.
I spent a little time with my white family because they are very cranky.
Has like 3 secret families that he hasn't told his wife about.
Oh, that sounds like a hot fantasy. Once I get the VR helmet,
I'm
gonna have
Lifetime movie.
That sounds like a game for my VR helmet. Secret Family. Oh man, I can have my black wife with Mal's hair. I can have just a bit like a Pam Grier in 3D VR. I would love. I hope my wife's not listening. I would love to come home to Pam Grier like once in a while, like in my virtual reality room in the house, like my kids out at school.
Pam Grier now, or like Pam Grier blaxploitation.
Pam Grier is so hot that if I could date 60-year-old Pam, is she 60? She's actually probably 70.
She's in that area.
Watch, I'm thinking of like an internet picture of her from 10 years ago, and I'm like, Pam Grier now, and then she like comes in, like, because we have Pam Grier, and she comes in on a wheelchair, like, hi, Pam.
Like, I guess I haven't seen you in a while.
Want to go get some sushi or something, Pam? I didn't realize she's just old, like Parkinson's Pam. No, but like Pam in her 60s.
Yeah,
Parkinson's.
But yeah,
I like the alliteration.
I think that would be healthy though. If I could have like for my alpha male tendencies, if I could just have a secret families, that'd be great. Pam Grier, and then who's the chick from Training Day who plays Eva Mendes? Oh my God, Eva Mendes. Yeah. She'd be pretty
You're
cool.
Hispanic. Who's your Asian wife?
My Asian wife. That's funny. I've never thought of that because I like Latinas and Black women and Middle Eastern women.
I like the Asian girl from Fast and the Furious.
I don't know. I was gonna say, who do I know that's Asian that I have a crush on? Jeez, my racist dick.
Yeah.
And the fact that my dick's never thought about it too. I'm like, well, who is my Asian?
It's actually refreshing to hear a white man not.
Well, I'm not a fucking Korean war vet.
Right.
If you ask my grandpa, I'd be like, Cindy down at Deja Vu reminds me of a time.
I used to know this white dude, and when I used to have my day job, he was another guy in the office. I forget what his job was. I don't think he really knew what his job was. But anyway, every time he would talk about his wife, my Asian wife, he would always say, my Asian wife.
That sounds like an old joke, huh? Like, please take my Asian wife.
Please. Yes. And like, you don't have to give her ethnicity every time you say her name.
That's
but he's
old-
proud.
that's-
He's
that's
literally
old school.
proud to have an Asian wife.
Was he
That's
bringing
old
up
school.
Asian stuff though? Or
That's
was
just
he
the old-fashioned
I
saying
way.
didn't ever
Asian
talk
wife
to
and
him.
then
I never
nothing
talked
had
to him
do-
long enough to. As soon as he said my Asian wife, I was like, all right, see you later.
I don't think people
dipped out.
I don't think
know what
people
you are.
have bad intentions that way. I think it's just an old school way of being descriptive, and people used race as identity in that way, and now they use it, I'd say, as much or more as an identity, but it's not politically
Nah,
correct
he
to
thought
use
it was cool.
I always thought it was weird when people would be like, I broke up with my girlfriend, and then she hooked up with a black dude, and I was like, why did I have to know the guy was black?
Yeah.
You ever hear that when people say that?
Of
It's in
course.
people's punchlines all the time.
Of
and I'm just
course,
like,
it was,
what does that matter?
Didn't
Like,
Hulk Hogan say that wasn't that his issue? Didn't his like wife
Yeah,
end
so
up
we're-
like?
so if
she
she
was
hooked up with like,
fucking and then
if she hooked up with like an Aryan dude, you'd be like, all right,
Yeah.
good old Aryan brother right there. All right. That sounds a little too close, Aryan brother, because he said brother all the time.
He did say brother.
God, I hope Hulk's not.
I had a really uncomfortable conversation with a guy one time about how he would never hook up with a girl if he found out that she had ever hooked up with a black guy. He's like, no offense,
Does he have,
Mel.
does he have a
But-
penis problem? Like, is he ashamed of his little
Yeah,
penis?
I don't know what. His
I don't have a
problem
huge
was. He's
dick. It
like,
doesn't
I
bother
just
me.
He
don't.
must have a penis problem.
He's like, I just don't. It doesn't make me feel like I just wouldn't want to follow that.
Makes you.
I wouldn't
sound-
wanna
and it
follow
makes
that?
You sound
All right.
Oh,
racist.
is he a comic too?
No, he's
Oh,
just
okay.
like a
I was
regular
gonna say
guy.
that.
I was like, that's such a weird.
That's
thing,
weak.
Man.
I mean,
That's
it's just his
awful.
own self-esteem.
Of course.
I had a girlfriend who dated a guy before me that she said he just had a huge, thick penis, and I was,
Huge
and I don't, and I was just like,
and thick?
wow.
Why did you have to get so? It's so descriptive.
I know, it's-
Huge and thick.
Do you really have to ask that? Why a woman would have to say something like that and then look you in the eyes and watch you go like, gulp, go, oh, do you miss it?
My last boyfriend just had the longest, girthiest dick.
Yeah.
And then every time she eats like a banana, or every time she puts a corn dog in her mouth, you're like visualize.
It doesn't, I mean, this was when I was like 18, so I was definitely like,
Full pantomime, by the way, just then.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome job, Candice.
that's right. And everybody thinks it's sexual, but I'm sitting here going like, I kind of would like to go get another corn dog. Maybe I will go back to the fair. Try a different.
Huge. You guys have any huge and thick corn dogs? Please?
They do. No, Candice. They do. They have. That's actually, guys.
They had a huge and thick. That's what it was
It's
called.
not called that. It's just called like, it's like foot long or 2 foot long. Like it's a
Oh,
giant
no,
corn dog.
no, I don't want it. I don't want lengthwise. I
It
want it.
looked
I
like
want
a
it thick.
turkey leg.
Yeah.
I need a.
Oh, yeah, no, they do. The card. I
I
think
need
it's
a
called.
14-inch circumference.
I think when you first walk in the entrance, you go to your right and you go around this corner and you look for girth dog.
circumference. Girth dog.
Look for girth dog. They're really good. At the LA County Fair.
You guys have a black man back there making these corn dogs, don't you?
Girth dogs.
girth dog. Oh my god. Dude,
That actually would be hilarious.
That's a $500,000 idea for
Girth dog?
for a food truck right there.
Girth dog.
Dude, girth dog's around the corner. Let's
Oh,
go.
yeah. I would buy it. Dude, a giant corn dog? You can call me gay as I got fucking mustard all over my lips and a delicious blend of salty, fatty, sweet corn. Oh my God. I want one right
Dude,
now.
We buy a food truck and we park it on Santa Monica Boulevard
Girth dog?
in Boys Town.
Oh, dude, I would love it.
That's a $500,000
Girth dog, as long as my arm is thick as me fist.
Why don't
It's like pirate themed. What be your order? Welcome to Girth Dog.
have a pirate working at the window?
I'm all about themed trucks. Yeah.
Parrot on his shoulder.
Step right up, matey.
Yeah, dude. Bobby McGee's on wheels, dude.
It's girth
Yeah,
dog.
yeah, Girth Dog.
Yeah.
That's the tiger, Tony the Tiger. They're girthy.
You yell the order to the guys making the thing. Hurry up, you scallywags.
He'll walk the plank and they'll be eating your Girth Dog. The fish will be eating your Girth Dog.
The girth dog will come right out of the glory hole right down there at the end of the...
Where'd
And
the
his
corn
peg
dog?
leg is made out of a corn dog.
And he has a parrot that actually talks.
He's got a leg that's a stick with a corn dog on it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, listeners, make that graphic and send it in.
That's the logo.
Oh my God. My
It's a
face
pirate
hurts.
with a girth dog leg.
My face hurts.
I love it. I love it.
My face hurts from laughing so hard. This is I love that we spent 3 minutes on his actual struggle.
Because there's no solution for it. So don't worry.
There's no solution to any of these struggles.
You just keep trucking, right? It's like the old comic. You just keep trucking. You have faith in the process of life and just enjoy the things that are important. Look, we live in Terrence McKenna said this thing a long time ago. It made me think.
Who said it?
Terrence McKenna, the old trippy psychedelic mushroom freaky dude.
I don't know.
He was like a philosopher. He's kind of famous after he died through the internet, but he just was like big into psychedelic mushrooms, and he was always like tripping, and then he'd come back with all of his like messages and his analytics of things and his explanations. But I remember this quote that is really good, and it's something, I might butcher it, but it's something like, if you have shoes on your feet and car keys in your pocket, you're doing better than 99% of the planet because of the amount of people that are living poverty throughout the planet. I don't know if they still are. The Steven Pinker book doesn't say that they're still that bad, but you know, it's a way to like look at it and be like, you know what? Yeah. Even if it's not even right now, just looking at history, I mean, as a Jew, looking at like the Holocaust and like the suffering that's gone on through the world, or even things that are still going on right now, you go, you know what? I'm in a place that has air conditioning. I'm in a comfort chair. There's no pirates.
Be grateful.
Somali pirates, not the fun, cute pirates with the parrots, but Somali pirates.
And corn dogs.
Somali pirates, they ate the fucking parrot because they're so hungry. It's the worst kind of pirate. Hungry pirates are the worst. And they're just, you know, you just got to be grateful that you got your shit. So I feel like you just keep on trucking. And hopefully between this podcast going viral and crime and crime with 3 eyes, you know, getting enough listeners, eventually I'll be able to just do my special that way and tour around. Because that's what we're doing nowadays, right? We're just like, well, fuck, we'll make our own like
You have
audience.
to do it yourself. Like everything we have to do now is like 100%. You have to do you have to produce everything. They want you now as a package. Like you have to have your fan base.
Yeah.
You have to have your content. It's like you guys used to help with this. Like you used to give me money.
We will help. We'll help write a percentage of your bills to you, and we'll keep some.
Right.
South Park made a joke about that. That when they didn't they have an episode? Yeah, they had an episode where they became an agency. Mm-hmm. And they represented, was it Token, the black guy or something like that, for singing, right?
Token.
And
Yeah,
Cartman, and before the commercial break, Cartman goes like, "You just do the entertaining, the writing, the blah 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 blah, and we'll do everything else." And then they cut, and you're just like, "That's so what it feels like."
That's exactly what it is.
But that challenge from the industry or whatever else is like, all right, well, they said it was gonna be hard, so if that's what you said, okay, well, I'll make my podcast. And like, I mean, I'm sure you enjoy, like, you have people like email you and you're like, oh, I have listeners in other states and other countries that don't know me that like like this, and all of a sudden you have artistic purpose, and you're like, all right, well, that's good, and hopefully that just builds to where, you know, people will buy some tickets and you can go perform. So
it's true. That's what we're all hoping for.
So I can have my cake and eat it too.
So all of our listeners, make sure
all of this other shit so you can do the thing that you want to do.
Yeah, but then this turned out to be fun, right? Like podcasting is a blast. So.
It's so fun. We get to, and you know, you not only meet people or talk to people that you didn't necessarily have, like, because I've had people on the podcast before that I didn't know very well, and then now it's like, I know a little bit about you now, and like we have a little experience that we shared. Yeah. And through that, and also we get material from this. Like we'll be riffing, and it's like, oh shit, that's funny. I can write this down.
I wrote the whole thing that I did before here, and I meditated on it. I wrote it. It's 3,500 words. I skipped a couple, but.
I'm doing all that corn dog shit tonight.
We all go out and do the same bits though, because
we need
we're like,
to decide
that's mine. That's mine. No, I'm just joking.
You do the part.
Girth Dog is the name of my first special.
When you get where you're going, help me out. You can have
corn
it.
Dog. That's the name of my first special.
Team player. As long as you look out for me, just use what you got to use. If you got a whole shot, squeeze through it. Get the goal, buddy. I'll take the assist.
Road Dog and Girth Dog.
Point's a point.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, Shefsky.
Candice.
You know, I really like you. I've always liked you. I really like your, like, because we're similar. You know, we've road dogged.
We
did road dog. And I don't know. I feel like you're just one of the few people, non-sociopaths.
Thank you.
You know?
Thank you.
So I appreciate that about you.
Shefsky's definitely a comedian that can have you can have an enjoyable conversation with, not about comedy.
Absolutely.
Which is like my favorite kind of comedian.
Thank you guys for anti-roasting me here on your podcast.
Where you can just
became very sweet.
Have a normal conversation without pretense. It's like,
isn't that the best?
The best.
It's great.
Like we've nerded out over like food. Every single time we hang out, we talk about different recipes or different sandwich places or different whatever.
We had him, remember, partake in our, was that 2 years ago?
Oh, yeah, the pies.
Thanksgiving, the pie where Mal
I think about that all the time. I'm like, when am I going to be on that podcast again?
You did not win.
I believe I won.
You did not win.
I believe I won.
Nobody believed that pumpkin pie was better than sweet potato.
I'm going to say that we all won because we all got pie.
We all did. Look at you.
That was so good.
Look at the glass half full.
Don't try to keep us from fighting. I definitely won.
Mom, Dad, stop. You know what's so shitty about pumpkin pie? Because it's almost that season again, you guys. First of all, pumpkin spice is back, and I'm not excited about this.
Yeah, pumpkin spice is a little annoying at times.
Pumpkin spice is back.
Yeah, it can be a little much.
Candice, what's the main reason why you hate pumpkin pie?
It's just inferior to sweet potato pie. That's why. It shouldn't even exist. Once sweet potato pie came on the market, they should have just replaced it with it.
I'm trying not to eat carbs for a few days, and you guys are just loading me down with.
Sorry.
I wonder if I could get fat from thinking about all these.
Yeah.
That's what I should be fasting from the thoughts. Like if my body starts producing insulin because my mouth is watering, thinking of pumpkins and sweet potatoes. All of them are good though. Look, some people are going to choose pumpkin. I like Japanese pumpkin. You ever have that?
No.
Like when you go to sushi.
Oh wait, I've had like it in
tempura?
soup, I think, before.
Yeah,
and
they'll put it in soup.
Yes,
they'll put it in tempura. Some places will put it on rolls. Oh my God. I used to think that was sweet potatoes.
It's all pumpkin.
And they're like,
to
no,
me.
it's pumpkin. It's all pumpkin to
It's
me.
all pumpkin.
Get that on a shirt.
Yeah,
along with
it's all pumpkin to
hashtag
me.
Shefsky.
Yeah, all the different races of pumpkins, they're all pumpkin.
I don't see
Mexican pumpkin.
I don't see color. Everything's orange to me.
Japanese pumpkin.
The Japanese are pumpkin.
Canadian pumpkin.
Hey.
It's all regular ass pumpkin to me.
You know, I'm a pumpkin. How you doing, Larry?
Yeah, I just don't. I'm not a. Yeah.
Canadian
I don't
pumpkin.
like their seeds. Blech. People that roast pumpkin seeds, get the fuck out of here.
good.
Nah,
with
man.
that.
Isn't that good for you too? You crunch them down, put
Probably,
some salt
but-
on them.
I'm not with that.
No, gross.
Pumpkin pie all day though.
Oh, yeah.
You voted for the sweet potato pie. That's how ignorant you are.
Yeah, a lot can change in 2 years though.
That's how ignorant he is because he came and was like, I'm pumpkin pie all day, and then voted in our blind taste test, voted for the sweet potato, and that wasn't even a good sweet potato pie.
I wasn't part of the blind test.
Yes,
To me, it's all about the combo.
They
of
were
the,
part of the blind test.
but you still said
the
that the
buttery
sweet potato
crust
was better.
Sweet potato pie had like a biscuity buttery crust, like a flaky but
Yeah.
biscuity. And yep,
Back to
back to
biscuits.
biscuits.
On that note, we have to wrap it up, guys. I love you so much. Oh, Shefsky.
I love you too.
This went by too
It's
quickly.
really-
we'll
it's
have
been
to have you
great.
back on.
Both of you guys. It's been awesome. It's
We'll
great
have you
knowing
back on
guys.
with another struggle. You guys, thank you so much.
I got a giant hiker's backpack full of struggles. So tomorrow, the same time, let's fix me.
He just wants to be loved.
It's called Fix Shefsky. It's 500 episodes, and no, we didn't.
And at the end of it,
He's still all fucked up.
he still can't get right.
Can't get right.
That's my favorite name. Okay, guys, thanks for listening to The Struggle. You can find me at Jokes by Candice on social media and CandiceThompsonComedy.com. Mal, where can people unfollow you?
Malhall.com. And all the angry black dudes continue hitting me up at Malhall on Twitter. Black dudes hate me.
That's
Chefs,
hilarious.
it's an ongoing struggle. That's his biggest struggle. Shefsky, where can people find you again?
Guys, if you're on iTunes right now, you just click off of this one and click on over to the search button. No, they've already subscribed here. Guys, we already got them. Now it's time to push the next sale.
You're right.
What do they call
You're
that when
right,
you go
you're
to the
absolutely
right? So you just type in crime with 3 I's, so CRIIIME. It's that's subscribe to us there. It's great. It's true
And
crime.
you
It's
can
comedy.
find it on all you listen to all podcasts, right? Like Spotify.
Oh yeah, it's on
and like-
Spotify. It's on.
It's
I don't know
everywhere.
if it's on Spotify, but I know it's on YouTube. It's on what's the one with the orange logo? SoundCloud.
Mhm.
It's on
Stitcher.
iTunes, Stitcher. We're on Laughable. That's a
Yeah.
good one.
iHeartRadio, maybe?
I don't know about that, but
No.
just find us
Just
on,
search
mostly
it.
iTunes and SoundCloud. Crime with 3 I's. It's
And
true
what
crime
is-
comedy, and
What is your social media?
I don't know why I thought you were gonna say social security number, and I was like,
And that's
it's
next.
853.
that you're so willing to give it up.
Well, I lied. That's not the
He's
real
like,
one.
I have nothing.
That's not the real one. I don't think they start with 8. So, everyone will know that. What's the other one? My social media?
medias.
Oh, we're at Instagram at Crime Pod, and or just Instagram me at Jon Shefsky, JONSHEFSKY. And I'm always posting silly shit on there. But just go to iTunes and download the podcast. That's all I want you guys to do, and you'll love it. And Candice is
You
on
will
2
love it.
episodes.
3.
3?
3.
Candice is on 3 episodes. I'm not an accountant, Candice. I don't know numbers. I didn't go to collage. Okay. She's been on 3 episodes. She'll be on more. She's a Crime Tribe regular.
It is. It's a really great podcast. And if you are into true crime like I am, I'm currently also listening to the Natalie Wood podcast. Are you into that? The Last Voyage, I think is what it was called.
No, it sounds, is it scary or is it comedy?
FYI. Robert Wagner murdered Natalie Wood.
Yeah, I don't want to hear more about that. That's scary.
Anyway, so if you're
scary
plugging other people's podcasts.
Even if, I was going to say after mine, you're like, don't just go to Shefsky's.
Don't just go.
Go to this other person who doesn't need you to subscribe. Go to my podcast, people.
Go to Shefsky's first.
Go to Crime, CRIIME, and it'll be good times.
Great. Thanks, guys, for listening. And if you have not told anybody about this podcast, that's what counts the most is spreading the word. We need more listeners, followers, subscribers. And also, if you haven't rated and reviewed us on iTunes, go ahead and do that. It really does. It really does make a difference. So if you have like just 3 minutes is all it takes. And do that. Hook us up. It
makes a difference, guys.
It really does. It really does. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.